Tonight at the Boca Raton Heart and Stroke Ball, the American Heart Association honors the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine at Florida Atlantic University and the tremendous founders and educational leaders associated with the institution. Thank you for supporting the mission of the American Heart Association. A time-honored white coat ceremony for some 64 students who in 2016 will be the first to graduate from the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine at Florida Atlantic University. A historical ceremony to symbolically confirm their commitment to the profession of medicine.
We will be graduating our medical students that will have learned how to become competent, caring providers of health care.
Together with the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine, the American Heart Association salutes the past, present, and future of medical science and technology as starting right here in Boca Raton, we collaboratively work to improve the health of all Americans by building healthier lives, free of cardiovascular diseases and stroke.
Well, the American Heart Association has done so much to develop programs and to develop guidelines and to develop specific training courses to help improve cardiovascular health. Well, just to give you an example, in the very first week of medical school, our students learn how to do basic life support, which is an American Heart Association program. And they're trained according to the American Heart Association guidelines.
In fact, over the past 3 years, in conjunction with the American Heart Association, the college has trained more than 2,700 people with life-saving techniques. These individuals include the medical students, medical residents, nurses, EMTs, and other healthcare professionals, many from area hospitals. They train in this active, medically realistic simulation lab and respond to conditions that would present themselves in a hospital or other medical emergency setting.
Well, I think not just the guidelines, which are of importance, but even down to the most up-to-date methods for cardiopulmonary resuscitation, something that the Heart Association really writes guidelines on, and the Schmidt College of Medicine educates its students and faculty about the proper utilization of them.
This year, the Boca Raton Heart and Stroke Ball honors the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine with special recognition of the Schmidt Family Foundation, Barbara and Dick Schmidt, world-renowned researcher Dr. Charles H. Hennekens, and Dean of the Medical College Dr. David J. Bjorkman. The American Heart Association thanks the Schmidt Family Foundation for their support.
Well, at the foundation, we're particularly excited about the fact that we help fund the Heart Association, which is returning dollars to the community, which is increasing the benefit of cardiac awareness and the advancement of cardiac challenges in the community.
Heart disease and stroke are the #1 and #4 killers, respectively, of American men and women. Thanks to your generous donations, the American Heart Association has invested more than $3.3 billion in research since 1949. At Florida Atlantic University, the American Heart Association has funded more than $1.6 million in research to some 16 investigators.
The Heart Association has been funding a lot of young people and helping them get started in their careers with regard to research and lowering risks of cardiovascular disease. So I think the Heart Association and academic institutions like the Schmidt College of Medicine need to redouble their collaborative efforts to both decrease the occurrence of the disease and decrease the mortality among people who are affected.
Dr. Charles H. Hennekens says his chief motivation to pursue an academic career in preventative cardiovascular medicine was the premature death of his father from sudden cardiac arrest. Dr. Hennekens has since been ranked number 81 in the history of the world for saving more than 1 million lives. From 1995 to 2005, he was ranked the 3rd most widely cited medical researcher in the world, and 5 of the top 20 most cited researchers were his former trainees and/or fellows. Dr. Hennekens has also given back to the American Heart Association, like during this conference in 1981. He has witnessed firsthand the unique role the American Heart Association plays in accelerating discovery, science interpretation, and real-life application. But each year, projects deemed highly meritorious go unfunded due to a critical funding gap. That is where we turn to you, our valued volunteers and supporters.
We hope that we set an example for others so that they will also give in their community and help support the Heart Association, the local university, and the local hospital. I feel strongly that if it's important to this community, it's important to me and my family.
Without continued help from the American Heart Association and without continued generous support of the donors to the American Heart Association, we would just see all of that come to a stop. We'd be where we are, but we wouldn't go any further. And we have so much further left to go.
The American Heart Association extends a sincere thank you to the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine, its founders and educational leaders, and to all of you who so generously open your heart to helping us further our life-saving mission, starting right here in Boca Raton and the surrounding community.